While his teammates took the knee, Quinton De Kock chose to stand. And when Cricket South Africa made the anti-racism gesture compulsory yesterday, he chose to walk. De Kock will play no further part in the T20 World Cup.
We're obviously surprised and taken aback by the news in saying that Quinton is an adult. You know, he's a man in his own shoes. We respect his decision, we respect his convictions.
But what those convictions are isn't entirely clear.
My reason, I'll keep it to myself. It's my own personal opinion. It's everyone's decision. No one's forced to do anything, not in life. That's the way I see things.
Given South Africa's grim history of apartheid, some feel the personal choice argument just doesn't cut it.
I speak because the team concerned is South Africa with a history of exclusion and racism.
This is my own personal opinion. The question's been bubbling in my mind all night. How racist do you have to be to not just take a knee and do that in conjunction with your teammates to show, to even pretend to show support? And I really felt for their captain who had to get up there as a man of colour and toe the party line.
The knee started as a one-man protest against police brutality, becoming a powerful gesture of solidarity during last year's Black Lives Matter protests, before spreading across the sporting world. However, the cracks in that united front have been growing for some time. And the backlash is about more than mere racism.
Would you take the knee, Prime Minister?
I don't believe in gestures, I believe in substance.
Chelsea's Marcos Alonso says he won't be taking a knee before matches as he believes the anti-racism gesture is losing its impact.
It's becoming something that we just do now, and that's not enough for me.
Others believe the very ordinariness of the gesture has become a part of its power.
I was just talking to Mercer. Mercer's little boy, he'll take the knee in the garden, so it is having an effect on little kids and that.
So as a symbol of unity becomes a source of division, is taking the knee more important now than ever?
Well, cricket commentator Bharat Sundaresan is lush of hair and charming of manner, and he joins us now. Bharat, is the decision not to take the knee unavoidably racist?
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's racist, but the fact that you had an opportunity to stand with your teammates and kneel down and make a point, make a statement, show solidarity, I think is unavoidably naive. Yes, there is a freedom of choice involved here, but you had an opportunity to really show where you stand. And I think Quinton De Kock, in that way, let not just himself down, but in many ways South African cricket down.
It's a big statement to make, but he hasn't really said much after he's made the statement. Do you think the cricketing world deserve to know the reason behind Quinton De Kock's stance, or is he within his rights to keep that to himself?
Well, he was asked that question a few months ago, and he said, it's my choice, it's my decision, I don't need to talk about it. But now that it's happened during a World Cup, and he's always spoken about wanting to show solidarity with his black teammates. He does do a lot for them, but he's never really believed in taking the knee or any kind of token gesture. And this goes for anyone. You can ask, am I changing anything? Am I really affecting how a white man views someone who's not white? But for his own sake and for the sake of South African cricket and Temba Bavuma, I think we need to know where he stands, why he did what he did.
Do you think Cricket South Africa has mishandled it in some way?
Absolutely. I think, the fact that the team was informed 5 hours before their second game, categorically, that you have to do this. After the first game, the picture of, some of their white cricketers not taking the knee made global news. It gave them a bad look. I just think it was a sort of a knee-jerk reaction. And in many ways, I guess they stitched Quinton De Kock up.
We've seen this in other sports. We've seen several players in the Premier League, for example, say they don't want to take a knee, including a black player who didn't want to do it. But we shouldn't overlook that this is South Africa. South Africa has a very particular history on racial issues. Are there very particular dynamics at play here because it's the South African cricket team and within that team?
There is. I mean, there were two female cricketers from South Africa who did not do it or chose not to do it during the WBBL. And Graham Smith, the former captain, had spoken about how some of the domestic players had gotten death threats for taking the knee back in South Africa. Look, it's a very complicated issue. They've been fighting this issue of diversity for a while. The likes of Paul Adams and Luz Bosman have spoken about how they were marginalized within their dressing room. So I think South African cricket has a long way to go. It's still in a phase of recognizing its own identity.
Bharat, do you think there's a silver lining here in the fact that it's triggering this kind of conversation?
Absolutely. And I think Darren Sammy and Pommy Mbang were seriously, alongside the South Africans, alongside Temba Bavuma, were the heroes of the day yesterday. Because cricket often in the past has kind of skirted issues that matter in the real world. So it is good to hear two commentators of renown talk about it. And it's not just South Africa. We've seen Australia take the knee now. If you remember what Aaron Finch said last year about there being this need for more education, which is fair, but they've shown solidarity. The Indian team's doing it. The English team's doing it. So I think this World Cup, while it's about the cricket, I think we're seeing cricket really break out and be the bold sport that we want it to be.
It's always a pleasure to chat, Bharat. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, guys.